Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and I wanted to let you know that the gang and I are taking a much-needed long rest this week. With the end of Arc 4, we are getting ready for our next adventure, and we also wanted to share some Patreon content with everyone for free. That's right, for free. If you are on the fence about joining our Patreon, here's a great sample of what you can expect on top of our amazing reward system. You can find us at patreon.com/DND404. Link is down below. And as always, thank you for the love and support and everything in between. Enjoy.
Oh, welcome to a special edition of our movie review of the new D&D Among Thieves. Is that what it's called? Is that the official title?
Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among Thieves.
Let's just start off with the overall rating. How would everybody rate the movie out of 10?
Whoa. They have no idea who's talking right now, Daniel, okay? Come on.
They're on Patreon. They have no idea.
Whoa. Let's get this straight. It's on Patreon until we forget to upload an episode and it gets onto the mainstream podcast, okay?
So these are the other two D&D characters in my Honor Among Thieves movie.
These are the other two critics in my in my theater.
The other two moviegoers, the one that won't shut up and the one that won't put the cell phone away, fellas.
And the one that hogs all the popcorn.
Well, I bought the bucket. I get to eat the popcorn, okay?
Wow.
All right, Tony, who would you be in the movie?
In the movie? Oh, wait. Oh, there's so many.
I already know who I am. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah, we all know who you are.
Who would I be? Oh man, I don't know. I didn't feel like I related to any of the characters specifically.
Really?
Why? Who would you think I would be? I want to hear what you think I would be.
No, you gotta pick one. This is how we always do it.
You would be the main bad guy.
What, really?
The main bad guy.
I was gonna go with Jonathan.
Jonathan's a good one.
Jonathan.
If anyone, you'd probably be Jonathan.
That's pretty sure. That's pretty great. I was thinking the main bad guy just because he's just so
you got on your high
ridiculous.
horse about like announcing who we are and then didn't even say your name when you went to say your person.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony. I am the fabulous DM of the podcast, the storyteller, the weaver of tales, the one that immerses you one time a week and gets your creative juices flowing.
And
and
you know, maybe I am the bad guy. You know what? You're maybe you're right.
Right? Exactly.
Who's next?
And then I am Armos Jared, and I just try to tear down everything that Tony built in every situation with fire.
With fire. And you are the who of this Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Ooh, you know, I was kind of torn. I think I would be the druid. Like, I just think that.
Oh, the druid.
I was thinking the druid just because of her reactions towards the end. It was like super.
Yeah.
I was like, that is what I would do.
I would have initially, right off the bat, I would have said Edgin though. Edgin Darvis, the main guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? I do nothing and just talk a lot? Is that what you're trying to say?
You got a lot of charisma. One of the most charismatic people I know.
Hey.
I am Dan, who plays Minas Pebble Walker. You probably know, and I'm the Zankiendar of this Dungeons and Dragons movie. Definitely.
Yeah. It's great.
He was my favorite character. Maybe that's what we should say. Our favorite characters. My favorite character was Zankiendar. I thought it was the best way to portray a paladin.
I think that's the best way. I loved the tiefling girl. I thought she was funny.
The DM NPC.
NPC.
The whole movie, I'm like, oh my god, he's so amazing.
I think one thing I just want to bring up, like notable things, and because I know I probably missed a lot of things.
After Tony says his favorite character from the movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought we did that already. It's Jonathan.
Oh, it was Jonathan.
Okay.
Yeah. I love like the bodysuits that they did. It's so out of place that I loved it.
All right, from the beginning. Nice.
There was nothing, and now there's something.
Jonathan came in and saved the movie.
This would, I really would love to do this Patreon talk, but I think it would really be better if Jonathan was here. That's the only way we can do this Patreon thing. I just really think Jonathan makes. Also,
I feel like you'd resonate with this part of the story.
Alec is very clearly the Holga of this D&D movie. Also,
Seen him and his potatoes, man. Him and his potatoes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, absolutely.
I want to just go with straight rating first. I think we should just say what we thought of the movie first.
All right. Who wants to go first? Because I'll go last.
Everybody pick a number between 1 and 3.
Oh my god.
3. 1.
All right, I'm 2. All right, I'm rolling a D3 right now. Go. Stop.
Wait.
It was me. Fuck. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was a great movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
All right.
They did the job.
Tony, what do you think?
I loved the movie. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a little harsher on my movie ratings, and like a 7 is really strong. But I'll go into it after Jared, you give your rating on why I gave it a 7 out of 10. It did one of my movie pet peeves. That's it.
I will say, personally, I enjoyed it a lot. But the reason I'm giving such a high score is because the person I went with to the movie knows nothing about Dungeons and Dragons and was completely immersed in the movie. So I would have to give it 9 out of 10.
That's awesome.
I don't know what they could have done better, but like the beginning's my only issue with the movie, but the ending, perfect. It was great, wonderful.
Yeah, I think it did exactly what it needed to do to portray how it feels to be in a D&D party. You know, it was a bunch of buddies doing their shit, getting into shenanigans.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, even though if it wasn't like breaking ground on storytelling, it was just a really well told story that was so much fun to watch with great visuals, with great characters.
Yeah,
I actually like the story a lot. Like the main premise, like what the bad guys are doing and how they're going about it.
Why you say actually? Yeah, I like it too.
I think we
it's
all
just
like it.
my gripe with the movie is that. So for me, like less is more, and I felt like they tried to shove. God, this is gonna sound so weird. Too much D&D into it, like. They were trying to make as many references as possible.
Yeah. The pandering.
You think so?
The pandering.
Dude.
Well, it's just like they went to too many different areas. No, I think they did too much. They try to like, oh, we're gonna drop keywords like Underdark. And like, how are you gonna casually just go into Underdark? You know, like you could do a whole movie there.
Yeah.
You know. So I felt like they did too many mini adventures.
Okay.
In the time span, if that makes sense.
What's another gripe you got?
On top of that, I think there was quite a bit of pandering. Like, here's that D&D thing, you know. They would just say something. Be like, thanks, I guess. But
so,
like,
hot button word.
Yeah.
Something about hearing Chris Pine saying Aarakocra just doesn't sit right.
It was awesome.
Okay.
I love hearing Chris Pine say Aarakocra. He's never Crocra.
When they put the backseat kid on the screen when like when Zank came out and he saved the kitten from the giant fish, and he had this weird animatronic cat thing.
I love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I personally loved the animatronics. I thought that was like a really good nod to old storytelling. It was nice that they did a lot of practical effects because you need to. I think there's a purpose to it besides just like, well, look at us and we're old. I think the purpose of it is because it is a theater of the mind game, and it is a big mix of like crazy effects in your mind and like you're on a fucking game board for the fucking character. So I really like that mix of like really cool effects and like kind of clunky practical effects, you know?
Yeah. I gotta say, we're going on gripes right now. One of my biggest gripe was the beginning. Like I understand the intro. The intro's cool, and assembling the squad, whatever. I'm fine with the, the premise, the assembling the squad, cool. And then after they're like quote unquote assembled, when they go through like so many like they have to go through this like journey, but it's like super cut just to get to a funny moment, as opposed to like, they're like, for instance, they go to that graveyard, which was pretty funny, but then it's like, oh, okay, well, let's go. And it's like, okay, it's super cut to now we're over in this place, and then cut to this place. But then once the movie really was like absolutely took off for me, was the moment they stepped inside the city, and then they, the whole heist, type thing started taking place. I was like, okay, this is 100% everything that I wanted in the movie, but I felt like that was the weakest part. I thought it was funny, the moments were good, but I don't feel like it didn't flow as well as the rest of the movie, obviously, but I don't know. That's my one gripe, I would say. That's why it doesn't get a 10 in my book.
Yeah, definitely not a 10 movie.
They were trying to put, that goes back to like, oh, like they go to the Underdark and everything. Like they were trying to put too many areas. They were trying to name drop as many like Forgotten Realms locations as possible. So like trying to go everywhere when like in actuality that would take forever to do.
Yeah.
But like it's fine. But that like I said, I like the travel part.
So what is your favorite moments?
Yeah, Dan. What is your favorite moments?
Favorite moments. I just love everything with the Paladin. I really, really like the way they created the Paladin character, because it emulated. It's not really a moment necessarily, but I just like that they emulated the way the D&D community talks about Paladins. With like everybody, like so many people hate on Paladins and are like, oh, it's this like just like stupid class with no character, that like why would you play a Paladin? And it's so funny that the whole party emulated that. It was like, I hate this guy. like I don't like this guy at all.
They leaned into the tropes really well.
Yeah.
And how like Simon was like so insecure next to him.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. And on top of that, they showed unlike the converse, they showed a really good way to play a paladin that was very interesting and nuanced. I loved it. Loved everything about it. He was like such a good straight character to the wild wackiness of the crew. Yeah. So he was my favorite aspect of the movie, I would say.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I gave you what you needed. Now I must go. Like a true DM NPC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love the fat dragon. I always forget how to say his name, but he's amazing.
Dude.
Amarcard? I don't even know how to say his name.
I knew the moment I saw that. I was like, yep, Tony's gonna love that.
Found a new den. What, he ate the last one? I mean, that dragon has like a really cool backstory, because it's a real dragon, but like he, for those that don't know, he was raised by a bunch of Duergar, and like Duergar, I'm saying that race name completely wrong, but they hatch red dragons and use them as like a power source, but then kill them before they get too powerful. They kill the dragon off and like hatch another dragon, but like he lived too long, he got too powerful that he ate the Duergar or like wiped them out. And that's why he's like so fat, because he ate like a whole like tribe of Duergar.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
So he just eats a lot. But when he just started rolling, I'm like, that's what I would make him do. I would absolutely.
That was one of the most creative animations I've ever seen. Trips over it, but then keeps rolling. Incredible. What do you got, Jared? What were your favorite moments?
The druid at the end was amazing. I thought that was 10 out of 10 in my book. I think the fight scene at the end was really well done. Like, okay, I hate going to movies and I can predict how it's gonna end. And in this one, I didn't see the kind of twists. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a big one. Maybe you guys saw it coming. I was kind of wrapped up in the story, like, oh, okay, like I think I understand. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh wait, no, there's a whole nother part to this movie. Okay, wait, now this is how it's gonna end. Like in my brain, I like that it doesn't just like you already know how it's gonna end type of situation. It may, you know, like probably the good guys are gonna win and bad guys are gonna lose, but like how that works, like how it was portrayed was really well. And I liked the money thing that happened. I was like, oh my god, like I wouldn't have thought of something like that. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's cool. I like the outside the thinking. That was pretty neat.
How they got that staff was like, really? They're gonna cheese it like that? And it's the most D&D thing ever. I get it. It's like, you have this staff, the staff that creates portals. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, oh my god.
I mean, but think about it. Like, how many items do our characters have that were like, wait, you have what on you? You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Yeah.
Like that last episode that we did, I had a potion of an owl, and
one more thing to say about that. When they found that portal, right? Whoever wrote that scene where Zank was telling how the bridge puzzle works was an Undertales fan. Had to be, because like, it's just, that's the only thing I forget. Papyrus like jumped in my head where he was like, the yellow square means it shocked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the inverse of that moment. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know if you went to see it with someone, Tony, but I wanted to bring some stuff up because it sounds like, Jared, you had a very fun experience with the person you went with as well. Yeah. I'm not going to say who I went with, but someone couldn't make it, and then so another person joined us, and we went to see it in our group of 3. And the person that came to see it just made the movie experience so much better.
Oh, really?
Because there were jump scares where they screamed bloody murder.
Yeah, same.
All cackling and laughing.
There was 2 where I had to.
Yes, it was 2 of them.
I had to like look over and be like, "It's okay." Like, you know.
Yeah,
you
like, good.
Whoa. Like, and the scene at the end, crying.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely crying.
Same
and
with
then,
There was a tear I had to hold back. I'm not gonna lie. It was in there. It was in the duct, and I shut it out from the world. But yeah, it was in there.
Pulled on the little heartstrings a little too hard on.
A little bit.
In there.
A little
bit. There was another moment too.
There's a moment I have to bring up that was the funniest movie experience, like in the theater experience, I think I've ever had. Happened watching the D&D movie, and it was the moment where, spoiler if you haven't seen the movie, it's the moment where the main character, what's his face?
Edwin.
Yeah.
Edwin.
Yeah, Edwin is talking to his daughter, Chloe, and he is like spilling his heart out and like, it's my fault. He's like taking ownership for everything he's done. And then you realize that it's not his daughter, and it's actually the Red Witch, Sophina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as that's going on, the second he gets into the room, I went to school to make movies, and the second he walks in the room, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the guy. I was wrong about the guy. It ended up being Sophina. I thought it was their old cohort. I knew right away. I was like, this is, okay, this is his daughter. This is going to be some kind of little side thing. And then the person that I was with leans over to me. Again, no names, but they lean over to me when the girl starts like laughing. And I swear to God, they go, oh my gosh, she doesn't believe him. Thinking his daughter like didn't believe the story.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, I look over, I'm like, no. And they go, what? And they turn, and the best part is like they turn to say that to me. When they turned back, she had already turned into Sophia.
Oh my gosh.
So she's it was just
funny.
the funniest little like bamboozle moment for them ever. Yeah, immersed.
You miss movie cues.
Right. I do have one more like thing that wasn't in the movie that I really liked. I went and saw it at Alamo, and at Alamo, if you get there, like you can get there a half hour early, and they open up the theaters and they play silly things on the screen, and oh my God, I got introduced to so many like creators, and I need to show you both this if you haven't seen it. It's a music video called Bard of Inspiration. It is one of the best things I've ever seen. And I can't believe how good it is.
Oh, I've seen this.
I know.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I have seen this.
It is so good. I was sitting. This is like showed before the movie, and there was a bunch of other like TikTok people that like laugh out loud scenes, and this was amazing. I was like, I don't know what that is. I hope it's still being in. I hope there's more. You know what I mean? Like, what else do they have?
So what
good.
Jared is referring to is all One for All, which is a Deerstalker, Deerstalker Pictures channel. They're a YouTube channel. They make D&D skits.
Oh, so good.
And and so like the base of, if you haven't seen them, absolutely check them out. They're freaking hysterical. They're also like very huge on YouTube. But they make D&D skits, and in between of them like cosplaying what their characters are doing, they constantly cut to the table of what like the players are doing. And the guy kind of looks like, the DM kind of looks like Matt Mercer. Like, it's clearly what he's trying to look like. But he plays like all the NPCs. They're hysterical.
But yeah,
if you're listening to this and you happen to be a patron to us now, we think it's flattering that you do that.
Yeah.
Tony,
we love you.
No, Deerstalker pictures are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I laughed out loud, and I was so just happy existed. I was like, the moment I saw it happening, and first off, I don't have near the musical talent, but it's just like, someone made this. And usually musicals are like, whatever. They have like a stigma on them, and sometimes they're like really good, or sometimes they're just, most of them are whatever. This was so well done, and there's like special effect. Dude, keep making them. They're great. But had to share that. Also, all the other creators that were shown before, 10 out of 10. And then they did a 5-minute, this is what D&D is, which for the person that I went and saw it with was perfect, because it's like, you know what I mean? They have no idea. So it was wonderful. So if you get to see them, if you were going to go see the movie, go see it at Alamo and get there early. It's a treat.
Yeah, go to Alamo now. There's no reason to go to AMC. You don't have any more buckets.
Right.
Oh, that was my gripe. I went to see this movie twice because one of the friends couldn't make it, so I went with them again. And I went to AMC, and they ran out of buckets like minutes before I got there, and I was pissed. I didn't get a bucket.
Oh, dang it.
Well, as somebody who has a bucket and is part of the 1% of the D&D community, it is all right. It's a cool bucket. It's nice. It rolls. It opens when you roll it. It doesn't stay locked. But a piece of tape solves that issue. If you probably 3D print a giant D20, it'll probably be better. It does hold one Tiamat Funko Pop, which is pretty cool. And I think we should totally use it for stuff. But other than that, it looks nice on my shelf of D&D stuff. And I bet this thing could probably hold so many beans. It's a bunch of baked beans. Maybe I'll make beans in it, and I'll just eat beans out of it.
Is that in reference to my bean-loving NPC I play in a different campaign?
I
still hate you. How dare you?
You're cheating on us with another campaign?
I mean...
Who are they? Are they prettier than us?
Well, they're definitely not prettier. I can tell you that, Jared. You're the prettiest one in my eyes.
Okay. But
we got to talk about the cameo in the room. Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Dude,
it's so good.
Watching that scene, I was like, oh, it's a halfling. Why does that halfling look a lot like Bradley Cooper?
He's a gnome.
Oh, he's a halfling.
He's a halfling. He's a gnome.
He's a halfling.
That's a gnome.
He's a halfling.
Halflings are stout. He was like actual people looking size. Like a gnome.
Pretty sure Bradley Cooper was a halfling. What?
Either way, here, you know what? I'll IMDb it while you guys are.
Yeah, this is a fun, interesting thing. Like I was absolutely positive he was a gnome, because they don't say. Are they like not allowed to make him look like hobbits? Is that like?
I don't think they can, because it's like, they got big DMCA's on that. But I thought he was a halfling. I'm pretty sure he was a halfling because he wasn't wearing shoes.
Oh, it is a halfling. That's an odd choice. I don't know. I guess that's not how I would have designed a halfling. To me, I was like, oh, a gnome, because they're proportioned like a gnome.
Mm-hmm.
They just shrunk him down, and the whole time I'm like, why does he look like Bradley Cooper? But it was, oh man, that whole scene was great. I thought they would have put, I thought that maybe they would have put like Vin Diesel in there, like the big people who like play D&D, or an actual Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, Bradley Cooper's actual Hollywood, but like, people who actually play D&D in Hollywood, or like people from like Critical Role or D20. But I guess Bradley Cooper's so left field. That's why they did it.
Yeah. I just want more of these. That's the main feeling I left out of the movie, is I was like, all right, what are they gonna do for the next one? You know what I mean?
Well, you got 3 other D&D movies you could watch, man.
Oh God.
You got the one from 2000. You got the one from 2012.
This
went straight to DVD.
Where they started. Okay, this is where they started.
I mean, the big baddie is still in the picture. They just took care of the the underling. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole. It's gonna be like
stuff.
Marvel,
Yeah, a whole
I hope
cinematic
so.
universe.
The Displacer Beast was kind of cool. I was like, I killed one of those.
I love that they chose a Displacer Beast.
It looks a lot scarier when you see it like on the screen, right? Yeah.
It sure is.
Although I didn't know that a Displacer Beast does an after image how they portrayed it. I did not know that's how they work. I thought it was just like you're looking at like a blurry cat, essentially. I didn't know they project another cat. Oh, but like gripe about the movies that the gelatinous cube didn't do anything. It just stood there.
That's for another movie.
Yeah,
clearly magic could explain that, right? They have some suppressor. They have suppressor magic stuff, so they have a way that it just doesn't move.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there was a gelatinous cube early that did, right? Am I wrong? Or was that in the previews that I saw? Maybe it was in the previews with the Alamo thing. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, it was just like in the arena.
Oh, was that the only one? Okay. Yeah, it must have been a different preview thing.
My only other gripe, the last gripe I have, is they didn't really like play on the mechanics of the bard very well. I don't know.
The bard did nothing the entire time.
Like,
I thought they did him very well.
No, they did his character well, but I would have liked to see more of the bard mechanics visualized. Like there's a moment where someone can't do something in a fight, but at the last second he's like, "You got this," or something
what
stupid
do you mean?
like
He
that.
was casting bardic inspiration the entire freaking movie, bro. The entire movie. Like every time he hypes someone up, that's the whole point.
I know he's giving pep talks, but like in battle, it would have been nice to get like mechanical bard stuff.
Well, you hit him with the loot, which is
I hit you with a loot. Yeah.
Well, he's a College of Valor. He was a, College of Valor bard, I think, is what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, well, maybe he's also like a rogue too, but I'm like, whatever.
Maybe. So we have College of Valor. So I didn't look him up, so I don't know. But we have a College of Valor bard. I'm guessing Circle of the Moon druid would be my guess.
I think it's gonna be like Circle of Owlbear. Because in the new edition of D&D, Owlbear is a thing.
Yeah, I know that.
So I think it's based around or shape shifting. Maybe Circle of the Moon.
The wild magic sorcerer. That was my thought, because keeps doing crazy magic by accident.
Yeah.
It even says wild magic. That was wild the magic. Path of devotion. Path of. Can't think of simple words right now. The paladin. Path of. The most common one. Path of.
I think it's devotion. Oh, I don't play paladin.
Yeah, see, nobody plays paladin.
I don't play paladin, so I don't really know the subclass off the top of my head. I mean, we can look at their character sheets.
Redemption.
They have them
God.
character sheets.
Redemption, right? Both redemption.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and then the rust bugs. The rust bugs
Yeah,
weren't
Yes, I wanted
proportioned.
to mention that. Yes.
Like, look how tiny they are. They're not that tiny. They're huge.
Yeah, but those were, just little guys. They were up there eating the little lock. I was like, oh, that's funny.
I was like, oh no, somebody's gonna call me out for oversizing them now. And I looked at the monster block. I'm like, no, they're medium-sized monstrosities.
I was like, oh, I've kicked a bunch of those into a fire before. Oh, man.
Good movie.
And then
Yeah.
the last thing we should talk about is the Hulk owlbear scene, right?
Yes. So good. That was some serious Armos vibes coming out. I was like, yes, do it.
When I watched that scene, I'm like, oh, now everybody's definitely gonna make Marvel jokes now. And then he kept going. I'm like, I think I like this one better than the Hulk scene because it just keeps attacking him.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's just the not even like the constant slamming. It was when the owlbear grabbed Sophina by the shoulders. It just like just kept beating her. To the ground.
I wished she was more like the main actress was more like kind of shapeshifted into like being angry or something like that, because she's never angry in any of the scenes. So I was just hoping that it would like came off that way, but it's still, the scene was amazing. It was definitely the highlight of the movie for sure.
I think we should address controversies real quick. Our thoughts on the fact that she could shift into an owlbear.
Kick rocks. It's called homebrew.
I agree. Kick rocks.
Yeah. So I don't know druids at all. So I was like, oh, well, that's an interesting thing that it happens. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's a thing. So it doesn't.
So
Not at all, huh?
I guess I'll let Tony take it.
So owlbears aren't considered beasts; they're considered monstrosities. So that's the mechanical ruling on it. Yeah. So people were mad about that, and the fact that she was a tiefling and was just looked like a white chick. She didn't have like a skin tone.
That was the next thing I was gonna bring up.
Yeah, I think that's just lazy on makeup department, but like it's whatever. I don't really care.
There was a moment where when I first saw her, I was like, "Oh, weird. She doesn't have a tail." And then she uses her tail later, and I was like, "Oh, that's the tiniest tail I've ever seen in my life." I was
it's
like,
a good
okay.
size, Jared. It's a good size.
Oh, okay. Hey,
I have a tail.
Yeah.
You didn't know you had a tail for the first 10 episodes when we started playing.
I didn't, and now it's just burnt in my head that they gotta have some elegant tail. With druids, it's so weird because you don't see that. Like, I feel like they probably did it on purpose. She didn't really like transform, like she was always the owlbear's just in scene. You know what I mean? There wasn't like really cool transformation thing that I can recall. Maybe you guys do.
I think they showed it once when they introduced
showed it like
her,
once, right?
and then that was it. Yeah, all the transformations were off screen.
Yeah, I wish that would have been some really cool scene that they could have done, but I'm sure money. But okay, so here I wanted to say this also before we finish. Thoughts on say movie 2's coming out, gets announced. What do you expect it to be? Like, do you expect it to be the same characters, new characters? Because I would like it to be new characters. Not that I don't enjoy these ones, but I feel like you could do so much with okay, we got the bard, we got the the barbarian or whatever you want to call it, and then you have all these characters. Cool. Let's see some more. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Let's explore it like crazy. What do you guys think?
I don't know how many more movies Michelle Rodriguez has under her belt.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
She was born in like what, the 80s? I mean, that's still relatively young, but like, I don't know. I hope it's just some of the same characters because I like them. I think they got like a few, maybe like they can rotate.
I think if they do a second movie, they bring in some new party members, of course, like an edgy rogue, We get an edgy rogue, the ranger that nobody likes, and that thinks that's useless at everything. And we have to get a character death and then have a player come back in, a new character come in, and they're like, wow, they're very similar to this other party member that we just had. That joke needs to be made.
Like they can teleport their... Yeah.
You know, because like it's still like somebody playing that character is still kind of similar. It's like, something about him that reminds me of that person.
I also feel like a jerk. Michelle Rodriguez is only 44 years old. I don't know why I thought she was older. I feel terrible. Michelle Rodriguez, if you happen to be a Patreon supporter, I want to thank you. I'm sorry, and we love you.
I don't know who you're talking about. Now I thought she was 80 years
I don't know.
old.
I thought she was 60. Yeah.
What?
Wow. It's because the Fast and Furious movies, right? Is
Exactly.
Where
And I remember her in Resident Evil, like the first Resident Evil movie. And I also looked up Vin
Honestly,
Diesel,
what a
how old
career.
he was, and he's 55, and I'm like, damn, he looks like shit. You know, he got. I thought Vin Diesel was like,
Wow.
pushing
Vin Diesel,
65.
if you're listening, I'm sorry. That's not how we all feel.
You're
My
supposed to get
bad.
a lot of
Thank you.
people that are
Thank
listening
you
to our
for subbing
Patreon
to our
content.
Patreon. We appreciate it. We love you.
My goodness.
My concept of age is just out the window.
Apparently. I'm bad with names, so I had no idea who we were talking about. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well,
so
anything else?
Final thoughts? Anyone got a little something? They wanna.
Love the graveyard scene. Graveyard scene's great.
Graveyard scene's good. Graveyard scene's good. I like how everyone had a backstory, and each of the backstories were resolved in their own way. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Simon got the girl. That made me happy.
Yeah. Well, he got a second chance.
Yes,
We'll see.
and I hope to bring that back in the second movie.
See, I don't want that. I want to just like, hey, you know what? He's got a second chance at it, and I don't want another resolution. You know what I mean? Like I felt good putting all their stories to rest. That's why I want new people.
I want to see what happens. I would love to see like he messed up the second date and he's just like back to being insecure.
See, but that's the thing is I feel like there's nowhere for him to go as character development because he like learned all his spells. Like he's like a powerful wizard now. You know what I mean? I feel like most of the fun is learning characters, and I feel like they had a full, complete arc in this whole thing. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to, like, they've kind of set it up to where they're probably gonna bring him back, which I'm alright with, but like, I don't know what more they could do with some of the characters, but I don't know. We'll see.
Did you guys like the original cartoon characters being in the maze scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was a pretty good.
What was the one?
Awesome.
Oh, one of my last thing. Favorite scene. One of my other favorite scenes was when they're at the end. They're getting like their medals or something, and Michelle Rodriguez's character gets one from the.
Yeah.
Oh. And the other halfling.
Yes, she gives him this look, like looks him up and down.
And there's a good. It was a good bring back. It was a good bring back to the window breaking when what's his face is making his case, then tries to fly through the window.
Yeah.
It's all boarded up.
Yeah.
Jonathan. And I just want to say, when Bradley Cooper said, "You were so guilty about the home you left, you overlooked the one I was trying to build here." I'm like, Bradley Cooper.
He was one of the best actors in that, because like you were not thinking about Bradley Cooper at all.
He was one of the
just
best actors in that. Yeah, the AAA actor with multiple movies.
Yeah.
Under his belt.
Rocket. Yeah.
Rocket.
What does that have to do with anything? Yes.
This just in. Good actor does good.
Also, another great thing that just came into mind, the mirror image that he casted that just completely gets decrepit because his foot gets stuck. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. He's playing I was like, oh my god, he's doing bard stuff, and it was a sorcerer.
Yeah, right? I really wish the main character did something bard related. Like he did the little song, but kind of, but just
he was
something.
inspiring. That was the whole point. He makes the plans.
He makes the plans.
You make plans that fail, and then I make new plans. But
all right, thanks for listening to our rant for 40 minutes.
Jeez, wow.
I'm not editing this. I'm just posting it as is.
Honestly,
Wow, you gotta edit it a little bit.
Nope.
nah,
Like you gotta edit this part out,
nah.
and they'll never know what I said. Right, Dan? Got it. You did great. Good job on the edit.
Sorry, I already cut my thing. I can't hear you.
We're still going.
So, our final score is we recommend this movie. Go out and see it.
I will.
Let us know in the Discord what you guys think of it. Leave a comment down below.
I will
Definitely
buy
meant for
it
the theater.
digitally on something probably, so I
See
can watch it
it
for days to come.
In the theater, support the D&D movies.
Yeah, well, hopefully they make another one.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Alamo specifically, because
all right.
you get
Oh, yeah.
some banger.
I hope there's a
Entries.
beholder in the second one.
I think that's it.
Bye.
Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the
That's the
movies.
only editing I'm doing. I'm cutting that out.
And cut.